All right, let's talk about the second application of quadratics, and that would be compound interest. So compound interest is when you put your money into an account with interest and that money grows. So let's talk about this formula and what these variables stand for. So first of all, A is the amount in your account, and in this case we're going to talk about it being 2 years. Sometimes it can be 5, 12, 30 years, however long you let that money sit there, but for this class we're going to just talk about 2 years. P stands for principal amount that you deposited. This really means the original amount that you put into your account. Of course, the R stands for the interest rate, and we always write that as a decimal. And then T stands for time in years. All right, so here's your problem. So you originally put in $500, but now your account is up to this. Find what your interest rate is. Okay, so that's going to be 572.45, right? I'm plugging in for A, that's my amount, equals my principal, which is 500, and then 1 plus R, and then my years, how many years? Well, it says here 2 years. Okay, first step is going to be to divide by 500. Okay, my 500s cancel. This gives me a 1.1449 equals 1 plus R squared. Now I need to get R by itself, so I'm going to have to get rid of that squared. Well, to do that I need to square root. Square rooting 1.1449, that gives me 1.07. And square rooting of 1 plus R squared, well, the square root and the square cancel, and I'm left with 1 plus R. Subtract 1 from both sides. That disappears, and I'm left with the rate of 0.07. Is that really my R? Yeah, it is. But if I asked you what your interest rate was, you would say, I have to move my decimal 2 places to talk about it as a percentage. It's to be 7%. When we plug our 7% into a formula, we would write it as 0.07, but if we were to talk about it with a person and say, hey, I got 7% on my account in those last 2 years. All right, let's do another one. The amount in the account after 2 years, principal, rate, and time. So now let's say that I have $1,166.40. I originally put in $1,000. I don't know what my R is. I know that we're talking about 2 years. So I'm going to divide by 1,000. And really, when I divide by 1,000, I'm just going to bring my decimal back 3 places. So this is going to give me a 1.1664 equals parentheses 1 plus R squared. I'm going to square root this. So when I do that, I get 1.08. And of course the square root and the square cancel, so I'm left with 1 plus R. Subtract 1. So that cancels. I'm left with R equals 0.08. And yes, we did find R is 0.08, but if I asked you what's the interest rate, you would say 8%. Again, you take your decimal and you move it over 2 places to convert it into a percent. That's all there is for application 2. Thanks for watching.